What is going on with the presidential handshake battles? Also, you may have noticed that meltdown is becoming one of our favorite words here on this show. Well, we have some melting down for you today on an episode of 10 Minutes of Truth that's going to have you saying,
"Shut up."
You're listening to Barrett and Baxa. Real stories, raw takes, and the slow, strange death of traditional media.
So, Bob, Nancy Pelosi just unleashed this week on a reporter. I don't know if you'd call her a reporter, but on somebody with a microphone.
She's a reporter. And I mean, we're going to show the video. There's so much to unpack in this video, And the main thing, when you sent it to me, and I truly 100% thought this was AI. And this is the problem, that with AI, it's really, and with the Democrats do such insane crap that it sometimes is very hard to differentiate between a Democrat thing and an AI thing. So
I had to send you links to legitimate sources.
I looked it
for
up.
this video,
for me to believe it. Yes.
Also, we want to. We hope that everyone had a happy No Kings Day. Celebrating no kings since 1776.
Most kings in history generally did not allow millions of their subjects to go out into the street and say how much the king sucked. And in fact, even modern kings, like I'm no expert on Middle East politics, but I'd be willing to bet that in Saudi Arabia, where there is a king, if millions of people took to the street to yell about how bad the king sucks, it wouldn't go down the way it went down here in the United States. So it's almost as if we don't even have a king here.
You would think that we don't have a king, but alas, you would be wrong.
Right.
Especially according to this group of people, we like to call them the Rapid Response Choir.
First line is break the law. Here we go. Break the law. Break the law. Enrich yourself and friends. Enrich yourself and friends. Tyranny. We must make this end.
Bob, you can't make it up.
You cannot make
this Democrat tricks.
Yeah, and they ruin it for people like us because we want to have a little show where we make fun of stuff. But it's impossible to make fun of them when everything they do is so unbelievably cringy or just cringe, as the kids would say. So they're doing row your boat, but they're really bad at it. Their chants are so dumb.
What I love about this clip is you get kind of like the behind the scenes, behind the music. This is how we do it. So he feeds them the line, and they just go with it. They just go with it.
That's a great point. It's like the making of. It's like the making of video or behind the music.
I had no idea how they did that. How they all sang the same words and knew the words to the song suddenly.
They've kind of pulled back the curtain a little bit so you can see what happens at one of these well-run protests. And now we do have a better sense of how they are managed to get row your boat going with lyrics about Donald Trump. So I
thought that they emailed and they practiced for weeks, and then they all came together. It was like one of those flash mob things. But all right, the main topic though is meltdowns, including Nancy Pelosi's meltdown. You saw just a little bit of it right at the beginning there. The shut up heard around the world. But we want to play you the whole thing. We want to play you the whole thing right now, and it's brought to you. This is the version and what Fox 11 in L.A. had to say about it.
Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi with an unexpected outburst when a reporter for a pro-Trump media outlet would not stop bothering her.
Why did you refuse the National Guard on January 6th?
Shut up. I did not refuse the National Guard. The president didn't send it. Why are you coming here with Republican talking points as if you're a serious journalist?
The American people want to know.
Look at her grin.
I know, that was so awesome. Let me start with that stupid-ass anchor who said the reporter would not stop bothering her. So, wait a minute. So when a reporter, first of all, every reporter, you've done it yourself, Steve, every reporter, you yell 5, 6, 8, 10 questions at a time because they ignore most of your questions. So you want to get all your questions out. That's not called bothering a politician. That is called asking questions as a journalist. But even aside from that, Nancy Pelosi is 85 years old. She has a guy walking, holding her elbow. Now, we've all had old people in our lives.
We see that a lot in Congress these days.
Yeah. My dad, in order to walk towards the end, he died a couple of years ago. I had to walk next to him and hold his elbow. But here's the thing. My dad had retired 30 years before that point, and he was walking from the TV room to the kitchen to get a snack. That's what his walking was doing. Nancy Pelosi is in Congress right now. Why? Why do we have 85-year-old people in Congress who need someone to hold their elbow while they're walking? I'm going to get crazy here for a second. Maybe if you are in Congress and you can't walk without a helper holding your elbow, that right there could be the indication that you are too old to be in Congress. I mean, seriously, what are we doing here? It's unbelievable.
What gets me is that when she gets that question about the National Guard controversy.
Right.
Why did you refuse the National Guard on January 6th?
Shut up.
She turns around, and that wasn't a, you know what, shut up. That was a you shut up.
Right.
That was an
Why did she get so mad?
Angry elf right there.
Right.
And she was mad, I think, because she doesn't want to be asked these questions in the streets. She doesn't want to be confronted in public about anything she doesn't want to be confronted about.
She was pissed about that specific question. And the other hilarious thing is her saying, why are you coming here with Republican talking points and acting like a journalist? And then the rest of that sentence that she didn't say is, you're only supposed to come here with Democrat talking points and ask me Democrat talking points questions. How dare you ask me questions from a Republican point of view? That is what Nancy Pelosi just said there.
And you might be asking, who is this woman, this reporter?
Oh, yeah, she's good.
Yeah,
like her.
well, but she's from Lindell TV, Bob, which is
the pillow
my
guy.
Pillow guy.
Nice.
My Pillow guy's like got his own TV network, apparently.
That is funny. And Nancy Pelosi has been in Congress for, 107 years or something. And now the new media landscape is that a guy like Mike Lindell can start a TV network and get a great viral moment. I mean, it was awesome. It was everywhere. This moment was everywhere.
Here's the thing, though. You say Nancy Pelosi's been at this for so long, so you'd think that she would have been figured out how to have a meltdown with reporters. In fact, she should probably take a lesson from this guy. This is what a real meltdown should look like.
Your ABC fake news. I don't want. Go ahead, Brian, please. I don't take questions from ABC fake news after what you did with Stephanopoulos to the Vice President of the United States. I don't take questions from ABC fake news. Brian, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sure. First of all,
shuts him down. And that, of course, was all over the peppering of questions about Tom Homan's $50,000 controversy. And essentially, Stephanopoulos went to commercial break instead of letting J.D. Vance talk.
And he was still talking, and they cut him off and went to commercial. But virtually every media outlet in their headline called what we just saw a Trump meltdown. That Nancy Pelosi yelling, shut up, that was a meltdown. This is Trump being Trump. He does this all the time. This is not a meltdown, but it just shows the dishonesty of the media. They call this a meltdown. It was Trump yelling at an ABC News reporter, basically yelling at one reporter for something done by a completely different person that this reporter had nothing
This reporter's
to do
taking
with.
the blame for Snuffleupagus.
Yes.
Speaking of punishment, he regularly punishes people when they come in to get a handshake. It's like a wrestling match. Now they do the cool bro handshake. No, he won't let go.
He won't let go.
He won't let go. So if you're only watching, not listening, you're watching Emmanuel Macron be manhandled through it's like an arm wrestling match with Donald Trump.
Trump, hey, contrary to what my smart, funny, and attractive sister-in-law says, I criticize Trump all the time. This is one where I don't understand why Trump needs to do this. It's so stupid. There's a lot of things Trump does that I don't understand. I don't understand, putting a picture of the auto pen instead of Joe Biden is just stupid.
Right.
I mean, I get it. He's trolling, but maybe the president doesn't have to constantly troll. And this handshake thing, I mean, I think Trump has to always sort of win every moment. Like everything's a contest and he has to win. This is why he's constantly self-promoting, constantly talking about his ratings. So
a lot of it's middle school stuff.
It is Trump, but that's Trump. At this point, I get if you hate it, but it's not going to change. So, maybe don't lose your mind every time Trump acts like Trump and just kind of move past it. And I promise, the next president will be J.D. Vance. He will be president for 8 years. And I promise you, J.D. Vance is going to do normal duration and normal effort handshakes.
Well, that's it for this episode of Barrett and Baxa. Like, subscribe, and do all that other stuff podcasts want you to do.